everybody. Today in the shop, I have this very interesting Yamaha. This is a Yamaha APXT2. It's a mini guitar, travel size guitar, 3/4 scale guitar. Do you say 3/4 or 3/4? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. This is a coworker's guitar. She brought this into me. I've really kind of been interested in looking at mini guitars recently. I watch a lot of the Mini Guitar Society channel. If you haven't checked out Rob's channel over there, man, that guy, he can play, and he is pure poetry, man. I could listen to that guy all day. I just love the way he tells his stories. Great channel. But all his collection of mini guitars he has kind of piqued my interest. I'm kind of interested in them really just for travel. I've had a couple of acoustic guitars that I've taken overseas over the years, and it is a bit of a pain in the behind sometimes. So something like this would be fantastic. This is, again, the Yamaha APXT2. Some specs on this guitar. It has a spruce top. The sides, back, and neck are all a locally sourced tone wood. That's according to Yamaha's website. Double binding, top and bottom of the guitar, not on the neck. I'm not sure what kind of frets. I'm going to just assume nickel frets. The nut and saddle are urea. I'm not sure if that is bone or a bone-like material. Sounds like something related to your bladder. They're kind of shiny. They don't look like plastic, so I'm going to say they're bone-esque. And the bridge and fingerboard are rosewood. This guitar is an acoustic-electric. It has a built-in tuner, volume, and tone controls. Battery compartment on the back, as well as the input jack. And I think that's a bit all for specs. The tuners on this seem like they're doing a pretty good job in the time that I've had it. The guitar needs a spa day. I'm going to change the strings on this guitar. I'm going to do a couple of checks and see if there's any issues that need correcting. I don't really think so. The action is a little bit high, but I don't think I'm going to necessarily bother trying to get the saddle down or anything. My coworker didn't have any complaints about the action or anything like that. I think I'm just gonna change the strings and clean this up. The strings are pretty dingy. The frets need a good polishing, and the fingerboard I think is in some serious need of conditioning. So I'm just gonna kind of go through what I do on these types of guitars, because I don't think this is going to take very long. First thing I'm going to do before I get the strings off is I'm going to check the neck relief. If I can get this turned the right way. Oh, is this going to give me a problem because it's a short scale guitar? It might. I think it is. Good to know. I might need a different notch ruler to handle these short scale guitars. I think it would go there if the nut wasn't in place. Well, I hadn't even considered that. So I'm not going to use this tool to measure the relief in the neck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Music Nomad This is a truss rod gauge from Music Nomad. And it has directions on here. I'm looking at an acoustic guitar. So what you do is you capo off at the 1st fret, hold down the 12th, and slide this gauge under the 6th fret, which I believe is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. And see how much relief is in there. Actually, not a lot. Not a lot. I've got just a little bit of bounce over that gauge. So using that tool in lieu of the straight notch straight edge, I'm going to say we're okay right now with the strings on. But let's go ahead actually and get the strings off. And I have several ways to get these little pins out. I have a couple of string winders that have on the other end either like a little lever here. This is a D'Addario one. Has more like a little socket that goes over. I can't remember where I got this one. Little lever. Sometimes I like the D'Addario. Sometimes these don't do a great job grasping, and that one came out pretty good. I always try and put the pegs in a little container so they don't get lost. These are actually coming out pretty easily. It was just this one. There we go. Not too bad. Sometimes they don't always work, so I like to have different options. Oh man, those frets are dirty. I'm going to clean this off, but one thing I like to do is I'm just putting a little tape on it so I can easily distinguish the bass side. I don't make any mistake as far as putting it back on. I'm going to clean this up a little bit before I do anything else. I'm going to, I'm just using this fingerboard cleaner and prep from Dunlop 01. I like to try and condition the fingerboard a little bit prior to looking at the fret levels in case the wood reacts and changes in any way, which might affect the fret levels. I don't think I'm going to do a fret job on this or anything like that. I'm just trying to get off any DNA that might be on there. Yeah, it looks better already. It's a really pretty fingerboard. There's a lot of contrast there. The person that owns this guitar wasn't, I think, was not hesitant about me doing anything to it necessarily, but then was, I don't know. She kind of mentioned, oh, I don't know if it needs new strings. Honey, those strings were pretty dirty. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call it honey. Those strings were pretty dirty. Anytime you get a chance for new strings, if somebody's willing to put on for you, take it. Take it. All right, I'm actually going to quickly clean and polish the guitar since I've kind of started that. For this, I just use this Formula 65 Dunlop guitar polish cleaner. I know it generally doesn't say to spray it on the guitar. I don't think that it makes a huge difference. I'm kind of like Ted in that way. I tend to maybe put a little too much product on. I don't know if that's a, I don't know. I kind of feel like there are some generations where more is better. And I actually might be a little out of touch with the times with that attitude. Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers. And I'm actually going to try for the first time with this guitar, instead of using the Dremel and flits to polish the frets, I got some lizard spit. I'm going to be using that. All right, so I'm going to check, just make sure that there's no loose screws where there are screws on this guitar. I'm not trying to over tighten or anything. I'm just making sure nothing's loose. That's good. So let's take a look at the fret levels and see. So I've just got a rocker here that I'm placing along 3 frets to see if I get any kind of seesaw action, if the one in the middle is higher than either of the other two. So far, so good. Even if there was a little rocking there, I think it's acceptable. What I do need to do is I need to tape up this fingerboard and have at it on these frets and get these polished. So I'm going to tape this up and I'll be back. And magic. All right, it's all taped off. You know, I'm just showing what I do. I am not an expert. I am not a professional. These are things that I have gleaned from other people. If you feel like I'm doing something incorrectly, feel free to make a friendly suggestion in the comments. But again, this is just my method. I know everybody kind of tends to swear by their way. I don't swear by this way. This is just how I do it. It's just how I do it. I'm taping this up because, one, it's not my guitar, and I don't want to make I don't want to have any issues. I'm going to be sanding these frets a little bit, polishing them, and I don't want to have any issues with the fingerboard getting marred or anything. Some people have the metal sheets that are pre-cut. Even if I had one of those, I don't know that it would fit this guitar, being that this is a mini guitar, and I don't have any of those. So some people use the little individual, like, I don't know where I put them, but I have some somewhere. The little individual fret guards. I find that sometimes I've used those. The edges of those can sometimes mark up the fingerboard. So generally I like to tape, especially when it's not my guitar. And even when it's my guitar, I generally tape up a guitar. I don't mind it. It takes time, but whatever. Let me get on with it. So I'm just gonna lightly, I've got these little sanding pads. I'm gonna go through and just kind of brush over all the frets here. I like to kind of go this way, not this way, but this way with the frets. I don't have anything. I just fold it over and do that. I've got 180 grit, 240 grit, 400 grit, 800 to 1,000 grit, 1,500 and 2,000 is what I'll go up to. And once I'm done with that, I'll try out the lizard spit for the first time. Here we go. Let me try these lizard spit. Now I didn't buy the more expensive starter system. I just bought the refill pads. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to use these. I'm guessing I just take one out and I'm going to do all the frets with it. That's my impression. I have not used this stuff before. And I gotta say, if I like it, this would certainly be a lot easier than using the Dremel and Flitz. Although I think that does a pretty good job. I don't know, I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. All right, Lizard Spit. Well, I'll definitely use you guys up. Let's see, I don't know if you can tell. They look pretty good. A lot better than they were before. A lot better. All right, I'm just going to quickly check. Are we still level? All right, so I got some axe wax. Axe wax. The Howard's axe wax, not the Ducks stuff. I'm just putting a little bit. It's probably more than a little bit, to be honest with you. Does that drop? And I know some people say it's oily, and I get you. But I just get a little bit. I wipe it over the fingerboard. If this was a plain neck, not painted, I would put it on the back of the neck as well. If this was an unpainted guitar, I would put it on the whole guitar, to be honest with you. All right, wipe it on. Now I'm going to let that sit and dry for 5-10 minutes. I'll be back. All right, so I've given that about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And I am just going in with a clean cloth. And I did the bridge as well. Just kind of giving it a little shine. All right. Oh, that feels good and smooth. Does that look better? I think that looks a lot better than before. When you get the light right. You know, I've got these big lights on the side. I'm surprised I don't have better lighting. And one thing I've noticed about these big lights, the light bulbs for them are flippin' expensive. All right, I checked the frets, I polished the frets, we've cleaned the guitar, we've conditioned the fingerboard. I am going to put strings on. All right, so I'm just going to stretch these strings a little bit. Man, looks so much better. I think she's going to be impressed. She was really kind of acting like, I don't think it needs anything. I think it's fine. Hey, you know what? It is fine. It was fine, but now it's nice and clean and shiny and smooth. If this were mine, I would take some Scotch-Brite to the back of that neck. That's for sure. So what I have left to do that I'll probably do off camera, check the neck relief again. Give it some time to stretch, retune, check the neck relief, check the action, although I don't think I'm going to do too much about there. I can check the intonation. Again, I don't think I'm going to do too much about there. And check the nut. If I have to lower that nut in any way, I will do that. And let you know at the end. And I will also put in some lubrication into the nut slots. And hopefully I'll do a quick little demo, and that'll be that. Be back in a bit. All right, that is the Yamaha APXT2. This guitar sounds a lot better than when I first got it. Sorry, I had to have just the room mic because the microphone in this thing, when I plug it into my computer and all that, it picks up everything in the room as well. So just the room mic for that. But this was a fun little guitar. I love it when they clean up so nicely. It makes me so happy. Like, irregardless of anything else, I didn't change the action at all. It's pretty high. I didn't change that. I didn't have to file the nut. The nut was actually really well cut. I didn't adjust the truss rod. The relief looked pretty decent in there. I could have adjusted the truss rod for the action, but I don't know if I don't know if my coworker would have wanted me to do that. She may be comfortable playing it the way it is. She didn't ask me to, so I'm not going to change it. One thing I've learned is for other people, don't necessarily set it up to your personal preference. They may like things, for the most part, the way they are. That it's cleaned up, I don't think she's going to complain about that. That lizard spit works out great. I'm glad I tried that out. I think that did a really bang up job. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for this video. Really enjoyed getting to work on this guitar and mess around with it a little bit. Hope you enjoyed getting to see it. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Cheers.